So, hello.
Hello.
Today, our guest is Scott Brown, CEO and founder of Accelerate Underwriting, like 8 years Inslee customers or something like that. Good to have you.
Good to see you.
Let's maybe start with a short introduction, who you are, what Accelerate Underwriting does, to give some background about you and about your business.
Yeah, we started the business in 2015. We specialize in non-standard and niche scheme business. We made a conscious decision when we started the business that we wanted to build an online proposition, a portal, and that's how we wanted to transact our business, rather than the more traditional MGA model of presentations getting submitted to the underwriters. So building the system was a fundamental part of the business, and that was a strategy that we wanted to follow, and we partnered with Inslee to build that. We looked at a number of potential partners at the time, and Inslee ticked the boxes for us for a number of reasons.
We are really grateful that you trusted us, I think, on a really early days, right? So yeah, as I said, we are one of the first, I think probably second Inslee customers or something like that. And I think on a technology that we used 8 years ago, that's completely changed. But yeah, maybe you can describe like how that technology has supported you, how Inslee has supported you in your entrepreneurial journey.
Well, the whole idea was that there wasn't anyone out there that had a non-standard commercial combined offering on a portal. And that's not the reason for that is because it's not a very easy thing to do. It's non-standard, so by its very nature, there's a quirkiness to the risk, or there's something that needs consideration. So to be able to build a question set and to be able to build a product online that can cater for all of that, it was quite a tricky job. So Inslee have helped because you wanted to learn. We were all starting with a blank sheet of paper, really. You guys were excited about getting involved in a project at the start. You were excited about helping us build it. You had the developers who I think had the bandwidth and the intelligence to come up with the right solutions for us. So Inslee have helped a lot. You've built a system for us now that allows me to, I guess, look at smaller schemes that are in the market, sub £1 million premium schemes that a lot of people don't wish to do. Inslee have allowed us to be able to go and write that business on our system because it's easy to use, it's easy to build products, it's cost effective for us as well. So yeah, I think that one of the important things for me at the start was you were a young company, you were hungry to do well. That excited us as well, and that was a major factor in why we partnered with you in the early days.
Yeah, I remember when we started the discussions, then you already had that vision that I want to build products really fast with a low cost and then support these sub £1 million projects as well. And I think now we are actually finally getting. We have been doing that pretty fine during the last 8 years as well, but now we are kind of actually looking at migrating you to the new Inslee no-code version, and it in principle it took 8 years for us to get your full vision completed, right? So yeah. It has been done okay during that 8 years as well, but now as you have seen our new Inslee version, I think we built one product for you on that new platform, right? So I think it was really good to understand how do you see that the new no-code version is going to change your business, because I have a feeling that your dream is finally getting realized after 10 years.
It's been hard work. There's no doubt about it. When you when you start a business from scratch, it it takes a long time to get the traction that you're looking for. I think the new version of the system, it feels like it's going to allow us to do things even quicker. It's going to allow us to do more of that ourselves. It's going to allow Alex and the team to build and upgrade products on our own, which would mean that operationally it's even more efficient than we've got at the moment. So I think in terms of timescales, in terms of simplicity, it's going to work very well. I think we also believe that the new builds will start from the accounts side of things and then build out from there, which should mean that the accounts reconciliation process is a lot more simplified as well. So we're looking forward to that. But all the time that you're doing this, what you want to be doing is continuing to improve on the operational efficiencies, whether it's the back office side of it or whether it's the front end to the broker. So it feels like it's a step forward. We're looking forward to it. We're building one product at the moment, as you say, on it, and we'll look forward to seeing how that goes.
Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic that it goes really well. But let's a little bit elaborate what technology is a good thing, right? But like, maybe you can a little bit explain how technology is actually helping you in different angles. So first of all, let's take like sales and revenue growth, right? So you need to stand out from the competitor. So like that avenue, every company, no, most of the companies want to grow business, right? So how do you see that, whether it's old engine version, or it doesn't really matter, it's having the good technology in place, how it is actually translating into your sales growth and making you stand out from the competitors? So what's the real like benefit of that, right?
The benefit is that our system is one of the very few that are out there that can cater for smaller schemes and can allow us cost effectively to write, sub £1 million schemes. That area in the market is difficult for insurers and MGAs to make money from, to make profit from, because there's a lot of governance, there's a lot of compliance, there's a lot of product detail that you have to get right. And of course, if you're only getting £400,000 or £500,000 worth of premium, a lot of people say, we can't make the numbers work for us. For us, we take a small percentage of the commission, but that allows us still on our system to be cost effective. So we can go out and write £400,000, £500,000, £600,000 which in the market a lot of people are walking away from. They're very good schemes in terms of loss ratios. So these niche schemes tend to run very well from an insurance loss ratio point of view. So if our vision's always been, if we can write 10, 20, 30 of these schemes, we'll have very good profitability for our carriers. And we're able to do that because we've got a spread of risk through a lot of smaller schemes. So, but the trick is having a system that allows you to do that cost effectively, because a lot of people don't. So we've invested heavily in it with you guys, and that's really paying off for us now, because we can go out there and pick up those schemes that lots of people think, do you know what, we don't have the capabilities, we don't have the IT, we don't have the time to look at that smaller areas. What it then does, the system, is, so that's the front end, that's the sales. What it then does is, because it does a lot of the governance work for me, because it does a lot of the underwriting for me, I don't have the head count that a typical MGE would have with the size of premium that we've got. So it's allowed us to be more profitable as well, because we've invested the money in the system rather than in people. So we've got 3 traders for nearly £18 million worth of premium. In previous MGAs that I've worked in, you would probably have about 12 underwriters for that £18 million. I've got 3. So that shows you how much work the system is doing for us in terms of the underwriting and the governance and compliance. It does all the sanctions checking, it does the flood mapping, it does all of these things that we've built into it. So that's our USP, is those small niche schemes. We can pick them up, and also non-standard commercial business we can do online or through our Choices product, and that's not available, I don't think, from anyone else.
Okay, so basically, you have like the blue ocean, very low competition. You go to the brokers, and you don't see, let's say, other MGAs, other insurance companies going after these schemes, and then you can kind of grab them. And as you have the really low cost ratio, adding more schemes is kind of more marginal costs are not increasing, and that helps you to grow the business without increasing the fixed cost, and then that's kind of makes you like really profitable, and so makes sense. Let's explore another important angle, like growing the sales and decreasing the costs. It's important, but for MGAs, the most critical part is to keep capacity providers happy, right? So because if they close you down, then your business is worth zero, right? So it's like the oxygen of MGAs, and like I think maybe you can elaborate that side as well. So is technology, and how, I know that it's helping you in that, but explain me how the good technology makes you, allows you to do better deal with capacity providers, and make them really happy and wanting them to support you in your journey, right?
So we've got a spread of risk. What we do is we do high volume, low premium but low exposure business. So lots of people don't do that because they can't get profitability from it. As I've explained, we can. So what that means is, if you do high volume, high numbers, lots of small policies, you have a spread of risk. So insurers like that. They like the idea that no one claim is going to cost you tens of millions of pounds. You've got small exposures. So because we probably have an average premium across our business of £600-700, no one claim is going to knock us out in terms of our profitability, hopefully. So insurers like it. They like the idea that they've got a spread of risk. Of course, they can't really do it themselves quite the way that we can, because they don't have the technologies in place that we do. But that's a fundamental principle of ours, is that we are an MGA. We look at smaller exposure business. Large ticket property owners in the City of London, we don't look at that stuff, stuff that could cost you 50-60 million pounds in one claim. That's not what we do. I don't believe that's really business that an MGA should be doing. I think that's business that insurance companies should be writing and co-insuring themselves. I don't think that's MGA business. I think what we do is the smaller end, and that gives them a spread of risk, so that keeps them happy. And the ability to do multiple different niche schemes that have good loss ratios attaching, again, that means that on all of our products, as I sit here today, are tracking either below or on plan in terms of the loss ratio performance that we expected from them. So, it's you're quite right though, Risto. If capacity providers are not happy with you, as an MGA, you have a real problem. And fortunately for us, it's gone well.
Okay, and like a technology role in that is like exactly how? So okay, you can do the small policies. That's understandable, because small policies have, let's say, the smaller risk exposure per object.
Yep.
But is there also something regarding like the data quality that you can send to them? Like, is that also playing some role?
Of course, the MI. So being able to get the underwriting numbers. We've built the MI system with yourselves so that we've got good data that comes out of the system, good underwriting data. We've got, claims triangles that we can look at. We've got the sales and underwriting data that comes out of the system. So that's very helpful as well. We've built into the products, we've got the sanction checking. So all the compliance and governance work is built into the system. Insurers come along and sign off They look at the system and sign off on what it does, and they're happy with it. We haven't had one complaint about the work that the system does. We can build in flood mapping, crime areas, all of those things we build into the system, so that off the top of my head, floods in the UK seem to be an annual event. We've just had another event over the last 3 or 4 days. We've been hit by one large flood claim in 8 years. That was about £200,000 loss, and we only picked that up because there was an error on the postcodes that was given to us by the insurance company. It was then loaded up onto our system, and it meant we wrote a piece of business in an area that we wouldn't normally have done. That's the only time that's happened in 8 years that we've had a claim over £100,000 due to flood, which I think is great testament to the system. It's great testament to the controls that we've built into that, so it works. So yeah, we're really pleased and proud of it, because the system does a lot of work for us. That means that I can have 3 traders right in business.
Okay, good. Let's a little bit zoom up and go away from the technology for a while. We are in the middle of a pretty strong economic recession. The times are pretty tough. Capital markets are tight. Interest rates are up. It all makes, I think, what I see in the IT space is very all the companies are like looking at the short-term results, right? Profitability, no long-term investments are made anymore. It's kind of, you need to be profitable. You need to make money. How do you see that rolling out the insurance world? So are the capacity providers, insurance companies also kind of being more kind of selective what they do? Do you feel the pressure that you need to be profitable? We always have, I know your profitability has been always in your mind, but how do you see that macroeconomic, I think we can call it recession, right? Is now impacting MGAs, how insurance companies are changing that. Do you feel anything in that, or is it business as usual?
I think getting capacity from insurance companies is a lot harder than it was 5, 6, 7 years ago when we started. So getting the capacity is the main issue for MGAs. Insurance companies generally in times like we have at the moment, where you've got high inflation, generally speaking, insurance companies do quite well, because what happens is that they too obviously get increased rates.
Interest rates goes up. Yeah.
Premiums. They can make provisions for inflationary measures coming through on the claims costs. So you would tend to find that insurance companies actually do quite well, which means they can sort of take the pick of what deals they want to do and what people they want to partner with. So,
but if they do well, then they should be even more aggressive, going to the MGAs, sell our products,
and then so that's the cycle. So what we'll have is, as things calm down and the profits are rolling into these insurance companies, they'll then start to loosen their grip on the rating. They'll start then to chase the dollar a bit more than they're doing right now, because the dollar's coming to them. So yeah, that's why we call it an insurance cycle, and we go from a hard market, which you would say we're in at the moment. We will move to a soft market at some point over the next 2 or 3 years, and then it'll stay there for a while, and then certain factors will happen, and we'll move back to a hard market again. So I think they're very choosy and picky about what deals they do, so getting capacity in the market is quite difficult. I wouldn't like to be starting the business now trying to get capacity. I'm pleased we started the business in 2015 and got capacity then, when it was much easier to get capacity.
Also raising money from the investors now, it's much more harder.
Well, interest rates affect us as well. We have debt. As a business, what's happening to interest rates affects me in terms of what we pay. luckily we don't
But
have.
inflation is increasing your business as well. So.
Yeah, so we'll get increased rating. Those inflationary factors go through into our products as well, so that's helpful. But yeah, it's we're not immune to financial pressures like interest rate rises. That affects us.
Okay, good. Let's a little bit talk about the distribution as well. I know you are very much focusing on selling through insurance brokers, right? But when I'm seeing like a lot of insurance innovation is happening, you know, everyone wants to go direct, sell directly to the customer. I think your choice has pretty much been that you support the broker channel, you create good products to that channel. Why is it just that's what you know, or do you have any like what's your business logic of, let's say, not going directly and then selling mainly through brokers?
Mainly because I believe that brokers are professionals and they're very good at what they do. The brokers that we partner with are very good at what they do, and I let them do what they do, and we do what we do in terms of supplying the products to them. So we don't try and take over their role. We don't try and do what they do. We leave it to the broker to go through and discuss our products and discuss our offer with the client, because they're professionals at that. Dealing with brokers is an entirely different proposition to dealing with clients. And I think a lot of insurance companies forget that sometimes, and they think it is easy to go direct, and it's not as easy as they think. We believe that brokers are the best advocates of our products. They know what they're doing. They understand the client space. I'll leave them to do that for us. And what we'll do is listen to them, listen to what they want in terms of products and pricing and innovations, and we'll try and build it for them. And using Inslee, we can usually build it for them at a very competitive, in a competitive way compared to our competitors. So it's never been it's never been part of our strategy. I don't think it ever will be part of our strategy to go direct. I've got every confidence in my broker partners that they look after that side of it for us.
Okay, let's a little bit imagine about a lot of philosophize about the future as well. So what's in your wildest dream? What do you think that the technology will do to your business, to the broker business, to all the insurance business in the next 3 to 10 years? So what will you see happening?
I think data enrichment is a big part of this. So that will come into the commercial area. So being able to make underwriting decisions quicker based on data that's freely available about clients, etc. So I think that will become and play a bigger role in commercial insurance. I think going back to your point around keeping capacity happy, we're looking at actuarial solutions, online actuarial solutions, where we can take our data and we can get actuarial projections in real time. So we can put our data in, and an hour later we can get a projection as to where our loss ratios are going to go. So I think that's a big part of what we want to do. I think people are talking to us about how technology can and data can help us with our sales process in identifying new brokers, etc. I think there'll be innovations there. I think in terms of our business, we'll continue to look for that smaller scheme opportunities, and we're continuing to look at new products that we could get involved in. All of them will be a bit niche. We don't want to get involved in the mainstream. They'll all be niche. They'll all have a sort of there'll be a solution to a broker problem, rather than I'm just the next guy coming out with a packaged product. We always, when we come out with products and we build things, it's because a broker partner of ours has said, hey, listen, we've got a problem here catering for this type of business. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that. We'll look to grow with sort of maybe acquisitions or teams of people that want to join us. We definitely think we'll do more of that in the next 5 years than what we've done to date. To date, we've been concentrating on ourselves and the ideas that we've got and fulfilling those. I think we're getting to a stage now we can invite other people in, and they can bring their ideas and their initiatives and their products. So we're looking forward to that. But I think the actuarial side, the data enrichment side, and the sales side, there'll be a lot of innovations in the technology over the next 5 years that can help us with those.
Okay, good. Let's finish with the last question. You have worked in a corporate world for, I know, maybe half of your life or maybe even more. And then at one point you started to become entrepreneur and create your own company, right? So maybe I think as we see a lot of new MGAs, at least there is a willingness in insurance to do new businesses. So what's your advice if the underwriter in the insurance company has the plan? I think I'm really tired of working in that insurance company and I want to create something great. So where to start? What are the learnings that you had in your journey? What others should avoid? Or
learnings, I've got loads. We've made mistakes. Everyone does. You know, you learn from those mistakes. I think you hit on something earlier, which is I first came to see you guys in 2015 and we had a plan and we had a vision and we could recite that to anyone. I knew exactly what this looked like in the future. And I didn't let anyone knock me off that course. I knew what it looked like and it does look like what it does today, which is great. But I didn't let anyone knock me off my plan. And lots of people over the time said, you know what, you need to look at this, you need to do this, you need to do that. And we didn't. We stuck to our guns and we felt it was right. And when I read about entrepreneurial people, that theme comes through. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, you know, he went around Hollywood and everyone said to him, yeah, we could do this, but we don't want you to play Rocky. And he said, no, I'm playing Rocky. I know how this looks like. I know how the movie's going to look like. I'm playing Rocky. And he waited until the right studio came along and let him play Rocky. I listened to a speech a few years ago from Michelle Mone, who is big in the sort of fashion industry. She had offers for her business when it was small. It was a fledgling business. She had offers. She had people trying to knock her off course from what she thought she could achieve, and she stuck to her guns. And look at her now. So I've always believed that if you've got the right plan, you've got the right idea, stick to your guns. Of course, you listen to people. Of course, you refine things. Of course, you'll make mistakes. I've made mistakes as well, but we knew what it looked like. And we fulfilled that now, and we're really proud of that. So my advice to anyone is, you know, if you truly believe in it, go for it, and don't let people knock you off track.
Okay, thank you very much for that advice, and I hope that there will be many people in the insurance world who will get things done and be like Rocky and create new stuff. All the best with your business, and I hope that we have another 8 or 80 years ahead to do great things.
Thank you, Risto.